This is On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Flyers from blue line to blue line. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by Han and Stone Spa, Pat Dion Beverages, The Capitol Grill, Chickies and Pete's, Payroll Service Solutions, and Independence Blue Cross. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Now, here are your hosts, former Flyers goaltending great Bernie Parent and Paul Jolovitz.
And welcome everybody to the beautiful Chickies and Pete's in Audubon, PA on a packed Wednesday night. A lot of people, a lot of energy, a lot of fun this holiday season. This is On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. I'm Paul Jolovitz. We'll be here for the next hour. I feel like Johnny Carson because our guest has a new book out, which we'll talk about in just a second. But first, my co-host, he played goalie. You might have heard of him back in the day, Mr. Bernard Marcel Perron. Happy holidays, buddy.
Thank you. You too.
Yep.
You too. Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you for your being here and your wife, Jeannie, and a lot of people here enjoying the holiday season. And hopefully they'll be able to enjoy a book. Our guest has written a new book. He played with the Flyers for many years, played in the NHL for 15 years, scored over 400 goals. Mr. Guffaw, he wrote a book, Angel on My Wing, story of faith, determination, and courage. We'll talk about that a lot tonight, where you can get this fine book by him and Wayne Fish, right in Bucks County. Mr. Brian Propp. Brian, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Paul? And Bernie, always nice to have you. We're neighbors in Florida.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Can't wait to get there.
After Christmas, buddy.
Yeah.
Tonight can make you want to get to Florida pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, but it's still nice. It's Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody that's here because it's Christmas time. And like my new book just came out a month ago. And so I'm excited to get them. And so if anybody wants to buy, they can have some with me and they can buy.
Come on up during
Christmas
breaks.
gift.
Brian will sign books for you, and we'll have a lot of fun with that. I guess we start. Flyers won last night. Obviously, one of the best games of the year against Columbus. 5-3. John Tortorella saying the puck movement was great. Matvei Michkov was great. Travis connecting a couple goals. Jamie Drysdale was terrific. We'll talk about the team a lot tonight. They'll play the Red Wings tomorrow. But this show, Brian, is more a personal show. You went through something, believe it or not, that I went through. You had a stroke. I had a stroke. I got very, very, very lucky. Thank you, God. You didn't get quite so lucky, unfortunately. 9 years ago, you were just hanging out one day, and why don't you tell everybody what happened?
Yeah, so like after my career, like Dr. Dorsheimer found out that I had AFib. And so what AFib means is that your heart murmurs and things like that, so you had to take blood thinners.
That's what I had.
And so and a lot of people don't know it, but after my career, they discovered it. And so like I took blood thinners at the start and just to control the level. But I had an ablation of the heart a couple of years after that because I didn't want to take blood thinners my whole life. So the ablation took 6 hours to do at University of Penn, and then it was successful. And so I thought I was going to be good for the rest of my life. But I think after time, the ablation, the medication wore off. And so what happened is that I was on vacation in Annapolis with visiting school for my son Jackson Propp in Annapolis. And then the first day I was okay. The second day I had a really bad headache. And that night I stayed in the house. And that night in the middle of the night, like I fell out of bed, hit the side of the bed, like lost a tooth. All those years playing hockey, I never lost a tooth. And then but thankfully my family was there to call 911 at the start because I couldn't talk or walk at all. I didn't know what I was doing. So otherwise I'm not here today.
Well, thank God you are. That was 9 years ago. My personal experience, I've been on blood thinners. I'll be on blood thinners the rest of my life. A stroke is a serious thing. I had AFib. We all have medical problems. Bernie, your back is bothering you. You've had surgeries. Hopefully everybody will be fine. We all have something. But you took action from your stroke. You wrote a book about it and the like. And Bernie, you retired. You got hit in the face by a puck or in the mask. And
Do I look that bad?
Yes, you do. You guys never actually played together, right? You retired in 1980. You started in 79. Did you have a few months together?
Yeah, a few days, yeah.
A few days? Do you remember playing with Bernie, Brian?
Well, I didn't play against him because
With him?
He didn't
No,
want.
he wasn't there yet.
He didn't want to play against me because he wanted to score goals.
Yeah, well, I love to score goals, so I could score you in practice too. But yeah, unfortunately, he got hit in the eye with a stick, and then he retired. And that was the year that I started as a rookie, and then Pete Peters was a rookie too, and then Phil was there also. So we had Pat Quinn was the coach.
Pat Quinn was the coach, and John Tortorella's the coach now. Fred Shearer was your coach, Bernie. People talk about Tortorella, and he's a little bit odd. He's very direct. He's honest. He'll tell you where you stand, which is great. I think he's a terrific coach. He's won a Stanley Cup. What similarities do you see between Freddie Shearer and John Tortorella, and what differences? All coaches obviously are different.
Well, I you know what? I looked at him differently, than a lot of people do, of course. And you know what? He communicates well with the players.
You're talking about Tortorella or Shearer?
Yeah, no.
Tortorella?
Yes.
Okay.
And he does, and it's a young team, and it's not like you have a bunch of veterans on the team, and you just have to see a few things and they take off. You have young teams, you have to constantly repeat and bring your message or messages across. And I like him. He's a good coach.
And Freddie, we know Freddie the Fog. Brian, you didn't exactly have the most nurturing of coaches. He didn't coach you your whole career, but if somebody came up to you, obviously you got to be over 50 to have even seen Mike Keenan coach with the Flyers. He coached later on with the Rangers, obviously, and other teams. But if I'm going to ask you right now, describe Mike Keenan in 50 words or less. What would you say?
Well, I love the way he wanted to win every game, so he played as many players as he wanted. We even went down to two lines. That's we were always ahead most of the time, so we didn't have to play too much defense. But it was I loved the way he handled himself. He was a new coach, because he was in the minors all the time, and then he got the best out of the players, and so that's all you needed. And we had good leadership with Dave Poulin and Mark Howe and Bobby Clark, and so we knew that we took care of our own players, so we didn't have to worry about the coaching that much.
Bernie, you've written a book. What's it like to write a book? The process going through it. You had a Hall of Fame career. Obviously, you live a life as yourself here because you're so popular and everybody loves you in Philadelphia. Why did you write a book? What was it about? And did you talk to Brian during his...
Sure, if Brian could relate to this. You share with people what it was like playing in Philly, playing with a great team, a great organization, great fans, and the whole bit. And it's important as a player to be able to share that with the public. Mm-hmm. And once you're in that situation, you're able to do it. It's a beautiful thing because so many good things have happened in Philly. With like I said again, with the beautiful fans. 17,000, 18,000 people every game.
Yep.
Every time you stepped on the ice, you got a standing ovation. You know what? It was there's one point, though, I have to mention. There was a guy who used to throw stuff at me on the ice. Okay? I had bad games like everybody else.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
And you know what? And the one guy looked just like Paul.
Yeah. It was me, I admit it. You got me.
Yeah, so I read Bernie's book. But I don't know how long it took him, but with Wayne Fish and myself, Wayne has been a writer for years when I was there too. So, and also he knew that Chris Therien did a book a couple years before. So it took a couple years to put it all together. So we did an outline, and then we kind of stood by that. It took a year to do all the recordings, and then to edit later was 9 months.
Yep.
And so we wanted to make sure that everything was done the right way and done properly. So it ended up to be really good, and it like Bernie's book. I don't know how long it took you, but it probably about the same time.
Let me ask you a question that's interesting to me, at least. We haven't talked about this at all, Brian. Obviously, you wrote the book, The Forward by Bob Clark, Bernie's teammate with the Broad Street Bullies. If you don't have the stroke, do you write the book?
Probably not. No, because I was a good hockey player, but the books are all the same. Like with hockey, this is a little different. It gives a good hints for after my stroke and how I recovered. The book covers a lot of that, so people can read it and get some help from them, and then learn other things like that I did to make me much better after my stroke.
All right, I'm sitting next to one of my favorite people in the world, Mr. Bernard Marcel Perrant, and his wife Jeannie said to me tonight, who's also a dear friend for a long time, I had no idea about this, no idea whatsoever. Jeannie comes up to me a few minutes before the show and said, what are the first 2 words Brian Propp said after his stroke, because you couldn't talk for months or walk for months? I was very lucky. I could talk right away, which nobody else.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good because you have the voice for that.
I do, but my wife would have preferred it to be several months. But the first 2 words you said when you could speak again were?
Bernie Propp.
Tell us about that.
Well, you forgot one. You should have said Bernie Marcel Perrant.
Bernard,
little tough for me. 2 words at a time was good. Yeah.
So
I got mixed up then.
But tell us that story. Were you with Bernie? Were you thinking of bad goalies from the 70s?
No, yeah, because after my stroke, I was in Annapolis for 5 days, and then I transferred to McGee Hospital in Philadelphia. So I was there for 6 weeks every day, and then after that, 5 days a week outpatient. Speech therapist took the longest because I couldn't talk at all. So it took me a long time with my brain to heal. I didn't know if I could ever talk again or walk or play hockey or golf or whatever, things that I loved. But thankfully for me, just my right fingers are still messed up. But other than that, I can still skate and play golf and hockey and you name it. So I'm thankful. And fishing, of course. I love fishing.
But why the 2 words Bernie Perrant? What was the situation where you could talk again and the first 2 words instead of hey, Bob, Bernie Perrant?
I'll tell you quickly. I gave him 20 before he said
Did you?
that.
Yeah, but we're both BPs.
Yeah.
So Bernie Propp or Brian Propp,
Propp.
but not even my son's name Jackson Propp, but the BPs it's a band that we have. Yeah.
What was your favorite part of writing the book? I've edited 3 books for Glenn Macnow, Ray Dinger. Writing a book is hard. Editing a book is hard. Getting it to publication. Most books have jillions of mistakes. People don't realize it. What was your favorite thing in writing the book? And to tell people who may have had strokes or your situation to stay away from them, what was the one?
Yeah, so for me it was having Wayne Fish helping me because he guided me. He led me right at the start. And so we did the chapters at a time, and so we did it one at a time and just kind of put them all together. But for me it was after my stroke and how I recovered from the stroke. I talk a lot about that. I've got lots of things that we can get into later, after the break, to tell more people how I help them recover.
Recover. Thank God you have, and we're here. Flyers are starting to turn it around, guys. Bernie, Nick Seeler, who was a guest on our show last year, terrific kid from Minnesota. Last night, John Tortorella was asked what the favorite part of the game was. Flyers took a 5-1 lead, probably played their best game of the year in many ways. 5-on-5, penalty kill was not so good, but he said when Nick Seeler defended Emil Andre, who had gotten a hit that he thought that Nick thought was a little bit over the edge on Olivier, went and fought him. How was that when a teammate stands up to you, either one of you guys? What's that like?
Well, go ahead, Brian. You want to?
Well, so for me, I know that
Dave Brown for you.
Of course, Chelios hit me in the playoffs in '89, a really dirty hit, and then Ron Hextall answered after 6 games after that. But we were out of the playoffs at that time. But he knew that he was a leader and he wanted to do something about it, and so I admire him for doing that. That showed his leadership, even though he got 12 minutes of suspension for that, which was unfair. But he's backing up me and the whole team.
You ever have to do that, Bernie? You ever see a teammate take a shot that was a little bit over the edge? Did you give the signal to Schultz or Bob or anybody else? You ever take matters into your own hands?
Well, my first game, National Hockey League.
1928.
Okay, yeah, 28 was against Chicago in Chicago, right?
Okay.
And I'll never forget my first game. Never forget this. My God, I forget the name now. They a good centerman for
Stan Mikita, Bobby Hall.
Mikito. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he came down, would shoot at my head all the time, right? And finally, I told him, I said, Stan, I'm getting the hint, He said, kid, I'll let you know when I'm done, okay? So he comes down again, and 5 minutes later, and hits me on the side a little bit.
For no reason, he's shooting
at your
head.
For no reason, he's just shooting at my head. I was a rookie, right, the first game. So the next 5 minutes later, he's standing in front of the crease, to create a
screen.
A screen.
Yeah.
And I took my stick, broke his leg. He never shot at my head again.
I could have never shot at anything again, but
yeah.
Hockey, retaliation, revenge, fun, fisticuffs, it's all involved. We love it. We love the orange and black who are playing better. We got a lot to talk about with Brian Propp about his book, again, Angel on My Wing, a story of faith, determination, and courage. I reached out to Brian after I had my stroke. Very helpful. He'll hopefully help some people out here. Bernie Perron's here, the absolute best. We're going to take a quick break, come back with On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Come on down. Say hi to Bernie and Brian. We are back at Audubon right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. The holiday entertaining season is back, and there's no better place for holiday cheer than Chicky and Pete's with a nice cold beer. Book your holiday party right now. We have open bar specials and an unbeatable all-you-can-eat menu. It includes our world-famous crab fries, delectable Chicky's boneless wings, tasty tenders, and our piping hot traditional pizza. Or let us bring the holiday cheer to your place with an unforgettable visit from our Chicky and Pete's Crab Fry Express food truck. We've got you covered this holiday season at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
Hi, this is Merrill Reese, and I'm here to announce that the garage is always open. I'm talking about garage beer. Light beer, like it used to be. How refreshing. I believe my good friend Jason Kelsey even described garage beer as beer-flavored beer. There's a guy who knows beer. Find yours at drinkgaragebeer.com. Remember, the garage is always open.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Jolovitz and former Flyer goaltending great Bernie Propp.
All right, back here at Chickies and Pete's in Audubon, where there's great energy. Come on down, enjoy the holidays. Lights around, TVs, a lot of families having fun. You're listening On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, right here on 1490 WBCB 107.3 FM. And seen live on YouTube at WBCB Sports. Guys, it is now time for the Independence Blue Cross Live Fearless Player of the Week. And this week it's who else? Matvei Michkov, 2 goals and 6 assists in 4 games, leading the NHL rookies with 27 points. Remember to choose Independence Blue Cross today and begin to live fearless. Guys, you were signing all kinds of stuff during the break. There's so many little kids here tonight. I love little kids. Who doesn't? Bernie, you had a 7-week-old baby that you had to hold before the show. I found it interesting. Her name is Charlotte, And when her grandfather gave her to you, she said, "Go 5-hole."
Go, yeah.
Even kids know that, huh?
It's a frustrating night. You call that? Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, sure.
What's it like to see so many little kids? Obviously, never saw you guys play, but that's got to be fun in this Delaware Valley. You love children. You love everything about them.
Well, quickly here, what I'd love to do is show the kids the Stanley Cup rings.
Me too.
You know?
Oh, wait.
And
I don't have it.
no, it's awesome.
I just have
and then you
ring.
have them touch the rings. They
Yep.
love this. It's incredible. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, but the kids in the area, like I know that when I retired after the Flyers, and then I built a Medford ice rink in Medford,
Yeah.
New Jersey, for 3 years, and then I taught all the kids how to play hockey and skate and play the right way and with teams, and then I got the job for the Flyers doing the radio for 9 years. Right
Yep.
after that, from 2000 to 2009, and then 5 years after that, I was with the Judge Group in Conshohocken, and now it's at Wayne. And they have a bunch of people there. I know a lot of people that have booked books from me already. And then the last 11 years, I've been with Jason Wolf at Wolf Commercial Real Estate. And I want to just say that he paid for me after my stroke because I just started. And so that made a big difference because I wasn't making that much money at that time.
And you also dabbled in politics. You ran for office. And also, I went to your wife, Eileen. You want to give a little publicity to your wife, Eileen's business over in South Jersey? So politics and Eileen. Go.
Yeah, so like her business is Prime IV Hydration and Wellness. I'll have a signing there on Saturday
Nice.
at in Marlton, New Jersey. A lot of people that are using the Prime IV, they have IV drips that make you much better. And I know that in my book, it tells about my NAD drips that I've done to make me the cells replace to make it a little better. And so like I noticed that a big difference from that. So like everything for your health that you need, we can fix everybody up. Like I have a puck here. Like I give you a puck. That way it has all the drips that you need
All right.
to get you healthier.
Get me healthier so I can vote for you.
Yeah,
what about
of course.
the politics part?
Yeah, well, that was I was in Cinnamons, and so just tried it because I was still doing the radio. But I knew I wasn't going to win because it was 3 against 1, and the Democrats.
But Paul, now you gave the puck to Paul, right?
Yeah.
So let me go put my mask on.
Yeah, good.
Well, you say put your mask on, Bernie. The Flyers this year, a lot of the problems they've had. I mean, Jamie Drysdale just came back. He's starting to play well after a couple of games. We know about the Four Nations tournament with the Travis Konechny, Travis Sanheim, Rasmus Ristolainen. Sam Ersson came back a couple days ago from a lower body injury. The backups started horrible. Even Fedotov and Alexei Kolosov, they started to play better. They still have their stumbles, both coming from Russia, smaller rinks or bigger rinks. Right? What was the hardest part for you? You didn't come from Russia, obviously, to adjust to the NHL game because they're starting to do better, but they have their hiccups here and there. What was the hardest thing for you?
Well, the number one thing is communication. It's very important. What I mean by communication, if there's a right-hand shot coming from the top of the circle, with a defenseman, I always said, take the man, because the opening would be on my glove side. And same thing on the other side. If it was a left-hand shot, take the man. Don't pay attention to the puck, but take the man. And I knew that the shot would be going on the stick side. Those are things that that you learn by communicating with the defenseman.
When you say communicating, Ivan Fedotov speaks English pretty well. I haven't talked to Kolosov yet, to be honest with you. I'm not sure, but Tortorella and Michkov on the bench. Tortorella doesn't really coach them yet because he doesn't think he'll understand what he's talking about. How much apart, Brian, do you think for Matvei? He's in a Rookie of the Year battle with Celebrini of San Jose. How important is the communication actually during a game when you don't speak the language?
Well, it's different, but at least they have a couple other Russian players that can help him. So he'll probably have to learn a little English, a little bit more. But how you're playing by consistent you are, because you don't have to talk about how they're going to play. If you make a mistake, that's okay, because he's a good player, and so he wants to make excuses, because you don't want anything just kind of be normal. You want to have somebody to try a little different, and then but he's skilled, and so he's doing really well, and he can help our team. As our team is being built with Danny and Jones, it can make a big difference. And I know that they're probably not going to trade for other players this year because they're going to build the young team that they have with speed and force all the time, and you never know, like they can get there.
All right, Brian, this is a young team, a lot of good young players. They need more. We'll see if Jonesy and Danny buy or sell at the deadline, depending on where they are. You're only 5'9", about 180, 185 pounds. Bobby Brink, near that size. What Flyer on this team and the four lines, John Tortorella is skating four lines every game now. We'll get into that later. What Flyer reminds you of you?
I know when I played against Mark Recchi, like he was consistent.
No, this team.
This team?
Yep.
Connecty. Yeah. He's consistent. He's fiery.
Yep.
I like that. He doesn't take anything.
The guffaw. Bernie, did you like the guffaw when Brian would score?
Of course, guffaw.
Brian, you know what? We could make a couple of jokes here and there, but at the end of the day, he was a heck of a hockey player.
Over 400 goals.
And you know what? To watch him skate, to watch his attitude on the ice, to watch him the way he handled himself with the other players on the ice, was just that was a secret to his success. That was good.
Well, a lot of the secret, you're unbelievably popular. You know that. The fans love you. They love Brian, too, for a lot of reasons. The comeback from the stroke, the 425, 26 goals, but the guffaw. Everybody's got signature this, signature that. We got dances. We got all kinds of stuff in sports, choreographed in the NFL. Yours is choreographed as a one-man act, the guffaw. How did that start and why? And how much has it helped you post-career that you're the guy that did the guffaw?
Yeah, so like Howie Mandel, the comedian, he's from Canada, and so he did his shows in Atlantic City because I always had a place in Ocean City for the summer, and then I saw him a couple times, and I decided after a couple years I want to do something a little different when I scored goals, and so I decided to guffaw.
How?
Just because he did it like in his show. He did it and so it means a hearty laughter, and he called me in the playoffs, and I thought he was joking, but the trainers called him, and then he said he didn't mind that I trademarked the guffaw because it means a hearty laughter, and now I have my guffaw cigars that are really good from the Dominican Republic too. So a lot of people here the last 7 years know how good the guffaw is for hockey or for cigars.
Vern, who had the best of all the Broad Street Bullies with Clark and McLeish and Reggie, and we know who they were? Who had the best goal celebration? Anybody have one other than just raising the stick and tapping the sticks?
Well, you know what? The
Moose.
The Moose was
defenseman, never scored.
A defenseman. Oh
Rarely.
Yeah, Moose scored a few goals. He had a good shot.
Yeah.
What did he do when he scored?
But he would jump and hug guys, the players, and the whole bit. It was. It happened every 4 months.
Every 4 months. Yeah. More often it happened for me. All right. Yeah. Before the break, Brian, we've known each other a long time. Never asked you this question. Are you pissed off that you're not in the Hall of Fame?
It's political, and so Bernie and Mark Howe and a couple other guys did a video like a couple of years ago, which really helped because at least they're aware that I'm the top left wing scorer in the history of the game in playoffs, and they know that I'm number one.
The history of the game.
Yeah, for left wingers.
Yep.
Yeah, but
I'm making a prediction. He's going to be in soon.
Well. We'll see. Good. Best of
there
luck.
You go.
Dick Allen just got in, the baseball player who had passed away. Obviously, his family gets.
I hope that doesn't happen for me.
Yeah, if you get in, obviously you want to get in when you're alive, and you got plenty more years on this planet. But I think you got a shot. You're a hell of a player. 5 Stanley Cup Finals, huh?
Yeah, but I contributed every time, and so and I was in the playoffs my first 13 years straight because a lot of these guys that play together, they don't get hurt too much and they can play a lot longer. Now you see more getting 1,000 games played easily because they don't get hurt as much, and it's all about being consistent and being accounting, because I know a lot of people that get all these points, they never play a playoff game.
All right, guys, let's be honest. We're going to take a quick break here. Brian Propp, Bernie Perrant, and me, which one of the three of us never missed the playoffs? You got it correct. And we're going to be back with On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, as I revel in my...
Hey,
What?
you got nasty a little bit here.
Yeah.
Come on down. Say hi to these guys. Fun night. Audubon, Chickies, and Pete's. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Wrap up your workday with the all-new Chickies and Pete's Happy Hour with unbeatable specials weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Enjoy half-price orders of Chickies medium tender wings, one of our tasty and delicious pizzas, or an order of mouth-watering hot, cold, or fried shrimp. Plus $3 domestic bottled beers, $5 Tito's, and $6 seltzers. It's the all-new Happy Hour weekdays 4 to 6 p.m. only at Chickies and Pete's.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Jolovitz and former Flyer goaltending great Bernie Perrant.
All righty, nice to be here during the holiday season. I want to point a couple people out. Ellen Foreman, who is our official show photographer, guys. Many pictures over the years. And her husband Jack are here. Thank you so much for coming every week. A lot of people coming here on a rainy, not a cold night, but a rainy night in this beautiful holiday season. This is Independence Blue Cross On the Ice. It's now time for the Smart Stat of the Week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY. Simple stat, guys, this week. Again, Matvei Michkov, his 20th birthday, December 9th, a couple days ago. May he have many good years ahead for the Orange and Black. Matvei Michkov, a right wing. Brian Propp played left wing. That was your Flyers Smart Stat of the Week, once again brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. Smart choice in payroll solutions. Payroll services catering to the small and mid-sized business to handle all of your payroll needs. Call them again at 1-866-PAY-EASY. My producer, Chris Ermer, saying, what was the stat? He turned 20 years old. My show, and that's a stat. There we are.
I want to share one thing, Paul.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I had a dream. Okay,
Martin Luther King?
that you
Had a dream.
I had a dream. Yep.
I had a dream, and you were a defenseman, right?
Really?
And my goals against average went up to 10 goals a game.
10 goals a game. Well, I'll tell you what, when you played, Bernie, you had some pretty good players. You had the Watsons, you had Barry Ashby.
I had the best.
You had the best, and the best translated to Mr. Propp's era was the general manager of the Flyers, many years with the team, still an advisor. He wrote the foreword to your book, Brian.
Yeah.
Bob Clark. What was that like, and how was he receiving it when you went to him and asked him about that?
Yeah. So like I've known Bob from when I started in 79-80, and we played together for 5 years. And then he was a GM, and he traded me to Boston, which he did me a favor. And then he got fired, and then he took me to Minnesota right after that. And so and then we had places in Ocean City, both times, and we saw each other all the time. We hang out together. We did everything together. But he appreciated how I played the game, and so that's why he brought me to Minnesota and other places. But he's such a smart guy. He did a really nice job of putting the forward together for me because everybody you want to use somebody that you know and trust. And then, like on the other side, like I have Gretzky and Lemieux that I played in the Canada Cup with that are on the back too, doing about my stroke and how they did a quotes for that.
All right, you talk about Gretzky and Lemieux. The Four Nations Cup is coming up in February, replacing the All-Star game this year. Travis Konechny, Travis Sanheim, Rasmus Ristolainen for Finland, the other two for Canada. I love it. It's gonna be great for the hockey world. Best versus best tournament. You guys both played for your country. I live in this country, never played for it. What was it like playing for Canada, first Brian, then Bernie, and how much did it make you feel proud to be Canadian citizens? 'Cause you're both American now, right? Both have dual?
Yeah, but we both grew up in Canada. I grew up in Saskatchewan, a little town of 300 people. That's where my dad is a Lutheran minister. That's why the faith is part of the book. And I have two brothers and two sisters. We're all 13 months apart, so we had our own hockey team. We only had 300 people, so you had to put a bunch together just to get a team.
You're all 13 months apart?
Yeah.
That's Irish quintuplets, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's all right. We got to play. My sisters played too. But yeah, playing hockey was key. I forgot what I was doing. Like saying again, with the Canada Cup and Team Canada. I played in the World Championships after we lost in the first round. A couple years after the first year in '81 and '83, I played in World Championships over there, and then of course the Canada Cup, which meant a lot for Canada. But you grew up in Canada, and you're used to the Canada people that you know, and so that's why I always like playing against Montreal, because they had 25 Stanley Cups, and it was special for me when I played in there. And Bernie, of course, the same, but he grew up in Montreal.
You played in some of the biggest series ever, Bernie. What was it like when you put that maple leaf, when you wore that jersey?
Well, what it was like, at first when I got traded to Toronto, right, I'm driving up there, and tears in my eyes from the Flyers, got traded. And when I got there, I got in the dressing room, and I said, wait a second, why am I feeling this way? I was looking at Jacques Plante, one of my favorite goaltender, ever played National Hockey League. And his sister lived next door to us in Montreal.
Really?
So, you know what? Then I looked at him, gave him a big handshake, big hug, and I said, Jacques, I said, I need your help. And he said, I'll be there for you. And a couple little things each week I would learn from him. And that made me a steady, more a better goaltender, how to judge your defenseman and different things and stuff like this. And what a difference he made in my career, that's for sure.
Life's about experiences, and we all have them. We all try to help people and show others what we've done, how to do it in case you're going to get lost along the way. Brian, what's the one thing, if somebody buys the book and signings all over the area, you're welcome to promo those if you like, but what's the one thing in the book that you would tell a kid? There's a bunch of stuff in there, a bunch of stories, a bunch of hockey stuff, a bunch of stuff about how I rehab from my stroke. What's the one message in the book you wanted to make sure got through?
Yeah, so I know my dad was a Lutheran minister, and when I left for the Flyers, I was still immature, but he taught me when I played for Brandon and the Melville Millionaires to be your own self.
Wait, the Melville Millionaires?
Yeah, I was a millionaire once, so not enough after that.
Right.
But my dad taught me live your own life like it's your last, and be happy with your life, because all these other people I know aren't happy with their lives, and they can't figure it out. But if you're happy with your own life, it takes care of itself. That's why I think we're in Florida, because it's nice and warm. But good lessons from that is in the book is just talking to my dad and saying he is wise, and he taught me how to play hockey, and that's what I took from the book.
All right, so I read this Angel on My Wing. Who's the angel?
It's my dad, because he's protecting me because of the faith, everything that we had. Yeah, and then, of course, the Flyers family, the Flyers alumni, my family in the area, my friends in the area that supported me through everything, because I should have died when they saw the scans. I had 3 blockages in my brain, and so they couldn't believe that I still lived with it. So I think that my dad probably had something to do with that, and I haven't seen my grandchildren yet, so I'm still waiting for that to happen too.
Well, we hope you do. We hope you get many. I know Bernie's got some grandchildren. Bernie, the Flyers are unique in that I have some friends from Detroit. Flyers playing the Red Wings tomorrow night. Detroit's called Hockey Town. And my buddies are Red Wing fans, are good people. They said, we're not Hockey Town, you are. Because Philadelphia supports hockey like no one else. Mm-hmm. The family that is the Flyers, Brian got Bob Clark to write the forward. Plenty of stories about the Flyers in the book. You're here, you've lived here. When did they walk together forever? How are the Flyers different from the Bruins, the Maple Leafs, other teams, and the family that Mr. Snyder and everybody created over the years?
Well, for me, is teamwork, and when you look at the whole team, you need a goalie, you need defense, you need forwards, you need good coaching.
You need good people, though, right?
You need a
character.
You need
character. There we are.
Yeah, you need a great crowd, to support you, and the whole bit. And I and I look back, in those years when we played, and especially those successful years, and the attitude we had, and communication was so important. And quickly here, you close the door, communication was just among the players, okay? So if I did something wrong, let me know, okay? Because I'll let you know if you did something wrong, and then how to correct what you did wrong.
So everybody helped each other out.
Yeah, of course. Well, you're talking about Detroit tomorrow night, and so my first All-Star game, we had the 35 undefeated streak in 1979-80, and then we had 7 guys playing in the All-Star game because we had less teams, of course. But I played against Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe was still playing, so I'll never forget the All-Star game in Detroit, the new rink, the new Joe Rulis rink, and so the ovation that he got for 15 minutes was out of this world, and it was just being there. And I played with Phil Esposito and Reggie Leach on the line, and I scored a goal and an assist.
Not a bad line.
First All-Star game, and so it was a fun time. And we played to win. We had scores weren't that high like they are now.
All right, Brian, you still play hockey. You've recovered enough to play after the stroke. It's a wonderful thing. But when you were young, I've read a lot about you, and we've been friends for a while. When you grew up in Saskatchewan, in the proverbial middle of nowhere, like the Watsons from Alberta,
yeah,
you were unbelievable. You broke a lot of records that some have still not been broken. Gretzky-like.
Excuse me, you know why?
Why?
Because he played against guys who were 90 years old, for God's sake.
But why, a lot of guys put up numbers in juniors or pee-wee. Yeah. When did you know that you were not just a guy that put up big numbers in a bad league, but that you had an actual shot at the NHL, which I imagine every Canadian kid wants?
Yeah, so I was still young and immature, but after my second year in Brandon, we had powerful teams with Brad McCrimmon and Ray Ellison were there for my 3 years, and so Brad was a good leader. Unfortunately, he died 3 years ago in a plane crash. I miss him to this day. Same with Pelle Lindbergh. In the book, you come find out ways how to live your life after your death, and so I almost died a couple times with Chelios hit and my stroke. But you live every day and make it worth your time.
And the part about making the NHL, how old were you when you thought, I'm
I was probably like the second year when I won the scoring and then had the MVP of the whole league lost in Brandon. Yeah, so then but I knew I was going to be a good player.
Bernie, when did you know you were going to be an NHL goalie?
I still don't know.
I think everybody else does.
You know what? My passion, my passion towards the game was always being the National Hockey League.
Yep.
Okay, and so if I had some rough times, that's all right. I'm going to work out and get some help from other good people, good goaltenders, and move on. But it was always a positive attitude, very important.
I feel like being Stan McKinney here and throwing at the mask, but you're not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Just got this.
He looks good, though.
Looks very good.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good. Going to Florida for the holidays.
No.
Looking forward to it. Yep.
Where's the camera?
Camera's right there.
Look. Eh?
That face and that face are going to come back with all these faces at Chickies and Pete's in Audubon. We're having a great time. Come on down to this place. A lot of specials, a lot of great stuff in the holiday season. Back with our final segment. A lot of people having a great time right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. The holiday entertaining season is back, and there's no better place for holiday cheer than Chickie and Pete's with a nice cold beer. Book your holiday party right now. We have open bar specials and an unbeatable all-you-can-eat menu. It includes our world-famous crab fries, delectable Chickie's boneless wings, tasty tenders, and our piping hot traditional pizza. Or let us bring the holiday cheer to your place with an unforgettable visit from our Chickie and Pete's Crab Fry Express food truck. We've got you covered this holiday season at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Paul Jolovitz and former Flyer goaltending great Bernie Propp.
All righty, back here at Chickies and Pete's in Audubon. Again, we're having a fantastic time. Something just happened in the world of sports that I never, ever would have guessed. That's why sports are fun. Bill Belichick is apparently going to become the head coach. He was talking about it for a while at North Carolina. If they told me, Bernie, that you were going to be Joel Embiid's backup with the Sixers, I'm not sure I'd be as surprised, but you never know what happens in the world of sports, do you?
You know what? I think I know where he's coming from. He loves to teach, and that's a good situation to be in to teach young players. And he's good at it. He proved himself.
It sure is.
It's going to be such different because in college, like they move every year.
College are like pro teams now with the NILs, and he said he's going to create a little pro program. I think he's going to be successful, close to the NFL wins record. We will see. By the way, Monday night, we're at the Great American Pub in Conshohocken every Monday night with our football show, the Monday Night Kickoff, me and Paul Domowitz. We have Eagle Vince Papali, former Eagle, coming up from Florida for the show next week, 6 o'clock Monday at the Great American Pub in Conshohocken. We're at Cheekies and Peace in Audubon now. Brian wrote the book, Angel on My Wing, the story of faith, determination, and courage, forward by Bob Clark with Wayne Fish. Chapter called Lighting It Up. I was flipping through during the break. Lighting It Up is what?
I forget what it is. Is that one of my cigars?
That's a chapter in your book.
Is it about my cigars, or is that
scoring? Cigars,
I don't know. That's what I'm...
I can't remember. Well, it could be either two things. Like me, I like to score goals, and I drove goalies nuts. Like when they practice, like Ron Hextall, I shot until he scored, even though it was the line was over. And then Pelly, I had a special thing with Pelly. I wanted to score every time because you want to try until you score.
Well, that's the competitiveness of a pro athlete, right?
Of course it is, but that's why in '87 game 7 we were up 1-0, and Doug Crossman missed the net by a foot. Otherwise, it would have been 2-0. Who knows? We could have won the Stanley Cup.
Murray Craven scored the first goal in that game in Edmonton.
Yeah. Yep. So, but also like lighting it up. I like my Gaffa cigars from the Dominican Republic. I have some for sale if they want. They're great quality cigars. But yeah, just I went with my son Jackson and Ken Dunnick, a former Eagle. 7 years
Ken
ago,
on our show, yeah.
we went to the Dominican Republic to check a couple factories up. We had a couple other guys the week play a little golf and then checked a couple factories. And so I decided to make my own brand, and I did, from the Dominican Republic, and it's called Gaffa. And so it took me a year to get it set up the right way, because you blend, put the blend together the right way, and that makes a big difference. But lighting it up, I know that Bernie likes a good cigar, and I hand him a couple every once in a while.
You know about quickly about a good cigar.
Yep.
People say, do you inhale cigars, right? Like a cigarette. I said, no, I don't inhale cigars. I said, why do you smoke cigars? And the doctor from the Flyers said that was a great answer. I said, I smoke cigars because I relax. It relaxes me.
Yeah. Okay, give me a rundown on Mr. Propp cigars, the Gaffas. How are they? I know you love good smoke.
Anytime Brian wants to give me a cigar, I'll take it. Yeah, but they're good cigars. They're first class, number one. And awesome cigars. The taste is great, and there's this aroma that you get from smoking that cigar that relaxes you and gives you a beautiful day, man.
Yeah, so I have a mild, a medium, and a Maduro, and a limited edition one, because I started with my limited edition, 425 boxes of the 56 by 5 inch.
Mild, medium, is Maduro some kind of word for hot?
Well, no, it's a mild cigar, a medium cigar, and a Maduro. Maduro is the more expensive, the stronger ones.
Okay.
But I started with the limited edition because they were 5 inch, 56 by 5 inch, and then after they sold then I decided to do a 6 inch of a mild, a medium, and Maduro. I have boxes of 5, 10, 20, 24, and bundles available. And when I play golf, I usually sell them for $10 each, but it's a good price.
All right. While we're here, Brian, we'd like to have our guest promo stuff. If you want to tell everybody how much your book is, where to get it, any signings coming up, as Andy Reid used to say, time's yours.
Yeah, so my book is $30. It's on Amazon, but in Canada it's in the Indigo. They can order books from Canada there. And my cigars are are from the Dominican Republic. They're on my website, gaffacigars.com, and then I have a shining in Saturday at Prime Ivy Hydration and Wellness in Marlton, and I have a cigar event on the 18th at Prime Ivy, and I've got a cigar event at Chubby's Steakhouse in the 15th and 16th, because you can smoke in the restaurant. And but I supply my Gaffa cigars. The guys they know that they're quality cigars, and so they keep signing up. And then I have a couple other things, Pat Koss, and I've already done the NHL Network Integru and Fax 29 interview, and so I'm going to get on WMMR next because I met them at a Flyers game a week ago, and so I'm going to get them in the morning too.
Busy man.
The one thing I like to say about his cigars, if you want to relax and really enjoy nature, enjoy a beautiful day, it's a beautiful cigar to smoke.
All right, smoking the cigars, hopefully relaxing one day, holding those 3 Stanley Cup rings up, 2 for you, and 1 maybe for somebody on this team. Brian, you played 79 to 94, 30 years since you retired. You were in 5 Stanley Cup finals. Bernie, you got 2 rings. You see this team building. They're young. Who knows, rebuilding. Who knows if they buy or sell. When's this team going to give this city another parade, Brian?
Well, you never know. Like now in the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen. You get a hot goalie, or you play really well, and you get a scorer that can win a couple games. It makes a big difference. So I like the way that they're building. Like last year, they almost made it to the playoffs. So they struggled at the last month of the year. Otherwise, it would have went in the playoffs because Washington got in, and then they got swept. But the Flyers are going to be much better because they're tough to play against. They force all the time. They make some mistakes, but they're easy they're fun to watch. And so that's what I like about them, because they force all the time. And I know that when we played in the 80s with Mark Howe and Brad McCrimmon, you knew you get a plus every game because you're playing with those guys. And I had Tim Kerr and Dave Poulin, you knew that you have a chance to get a plus in the playoffs.
Well, Bernie, I don't know if this is a sore issue or not. Never asked you about it. Mr. Snyder didn't have a lot of Russian players here, obviously, because of the political situation. You didn't play with any Russians. They're now all over the place. They started pretty much when you were just leaving with Fetisov. Matvei Michkov, 20 years old, Russian. Flyers have a couple others. What's this kid going to be like?
Well, this is a great question, and I don't have the answer for that direct answer for this. But if you look at you visualize what he's doing, and how he's coming around, becoming. You know what? As a player, and Brian will back me up on this, you have to be part of a team.
Yep.
Not one individual. Even the greatest like Gretzky or Bobby Orr, they needed a team to make it happen. And this is if you take this approach and you improve, you keep improving yourself, and you have a good team to support you at the same time, that really helps to succeed,
Hopefully Michkov can lead them, guys, right?
Yeah, but it takes a team. You can't just one guy. Even Edmonton, they struggle a little bit here and there, but they've got a couple strong players.
Yeah, couple pretty strong players. Unfortunately, got you in 85 and 87. Brian, we've had such a great time here at Chickies and Pete's in Audubon. We thank Tyler and Mark, the general manager and manager here. Brian, best of luck with the book. God bless with the health, and continue good luck with the cigars. Thanks so much for being here, buddy.
Thanks, Paul.
The book is, again, Angel on My Wing, a story of faith, determination, and courage, with a foreword by Bob Clark. Your teammate, Mr. Prana. We'll see you next week in Drexel Hill. We'll be with Riley Cote.
By the way, green looks good on you, Paul.
Something has to look good on me, right? All righty. Chris Hermer produced this fine program. Stephen Lawler, a terrific job back at the station. We thank you for watching, for listening, for coming out. Until next week, I'm Paul Jolovitz for Bernie Propp and Brian Propp saying, have a great week, happy holidays, and go Flyers.
Yeah.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.